Hey all, just wanted to share with you, got a new product here that I'm going to check out. It's called Light Genie for a model rectifier. Let's take a look and see what we got going on here. This is a really exciting development because when you really get down to it, modern decoders have all kinds of special lighting features, but wouldn't it be nice to have some of those lighting features for your layout? So Light Genie does that. Got building lights, strobe lights, different scenes, railroad signals, traffic signals, street lights, fire effects, and things like that. So I'm going to check it out here. Little instruction manual. Package comes, this is the remote, this is a wireless system. Some pre-wired connectors, and here's the brains, the actual Light Genie board. Also comes with some batteries, resistors for your LEDs, little Velcro strips. So we're going to check this out. Alright, got the Light Genie out of the package. Here's a kind of a little view on it. You can see the power comes in here, and it comes with an adapter all ready to go. So you wire this to something like a 12 volt power supply, or it could be up to, I believe, 15 or 16 volts. And then it also comes with these little adapter connectors, and for each of these there's two flavors of them. One is a 3-wire, which actually does 2 circuits because you got a common and then each of the individual lighting circuits. So blue would be common, and then each of the different circuits would be white. So that could be like a left and right on a railroad crossing signal, or even separate functions. And then you've got the 3-wire version. Again, blue's common, and red, yellow, green, for instance, like a traffic light. So pretty neat. What I've done here is I got some 3mm LEDs. I'm going to go ahead and pre-wire them to these wirings, these wire connectors. And what we'll do is just test out a couple of the different features. LEDs wired out here to one set of the leads. I got resistors. Here's your blue common hooked to the positive end of the LEDs. These are just 2 white LEDs that I happen to have extra. Also wired out the power supply to a 12 volt power supply, and again, this thing can take anything from 12 to 18 volts. Just plug that puppy in there. You've got it energized. And plug this guy into. Here would be our programming tool. Basically, we'll just go through some of the different modes here. So here we got a simultaneous flash, double flash, alternating, double strobe they call it. They have double strobe simultaneous. Next one here is what they call rotating beacon, alternating. And notice that you can speed these up. I'm going to go ahead and speed them up a little bit. There we go. So you can do some fun stuff with that. Maybe you want to do that on a fire engine, or could be warning flashers on a roadway or something like that. The dimming effect also kind of suggests incandescent bulb. And what else do we have here? Rotating beacon simultaneous. Here's a flicker pattern. It's useful for like a campfire. And they have what's like an arc flash, an arc welding thing. If I slow that down, you know, there's a little bit more time between the flashes, so it comes a little bit more realistic. Kind of neat. I think these flicker patterns or could also be used for TVs or something like that, behind a screen. Anyways, let's keep moving along here. This is your basic on-off. Okay. This is sequential with a pause in between it. You could use that for arrow lighting. Could also be used in a marquee. Here's your back and forth alternating. Could be for a railroad crossing. Could also be for a warning light. Make this out of yellow LEDs. It could be a caution light of some sort. Then you got alternating, where one of them's always on. I would think this would look cool in an aircraft model of some sort, where you have some sort of a beacon system. And simultaneous. Could be warning lights, runway lights, something like that. Another variation of it. There we go. One that's simultaneous again. Gyro light, they call it. Oscillating lights. Here we have an alternating light system that stays on. Step lighting. These are step lighting. It's bright, medium, dim, bright. Actually, it's bright, medium, dim, medium, bright. Speed this one up. I could see this being useful in some sort of a warning light or a flasher light of some sort. There we go. How do you like that? That could be useful for like a fire engine or something like that. Alternating single strobe. Slow it down a little bit. If we slow it way down, we see how slow we can get this thing to go. So, you know, that would be really cool in some sort of a radio tower. You could actually put them on a couple different or adjacent radio towers. That works pretty well. This one is the same thing but simultaneous. That could also be used on a radio tower. Could also be used on an airplane. Warning strobes. Especially the more modern ones like you see on the 737s. I think this is where we started, yeah. It's double strobe, alternating. If we speed that up, let's speed that up a little bit. You could have some fun with this one. There we go. Again, kind of cool effects that we normally had just seen in decoders, locomotive decoders. Now you can use them for your layout. I'm kind of jazzed about that. Okay, so we've seen enough of that one. I also wired out additional couple systems here. The lighting, I dimmed a little bit of the workbench lights so you can see what's going on. What I did here is, this is the original two that we were looking at, 2 white lights. I added 2 more red lights, same 2-wire circuit. This time it's group 2. And then I did a 3 LED setup. Notice that the board actually contains 3 outputs of 3 groups of 2 LEDs and then 2 groups of 3 LEDs. So total of 5 groups. 2 of them have 3 LEDs. So we're going to go through and program some of these. Let me go ahead and just do one again. We did that. I have it right now on double strobe, alternating. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then this guy I put here on alternating, what do they call it? Basically oscillating. So that's kind of neat, sort of suggesting incandescent bulb. Notice that they're different speeds, you can set that up. But let's go ahead and take a look at the third 3 output one. Alright, for that one, I've programmed in, I'm set up right now for street light, sequential crossing signal, traffic signal light. Notice that it sits on green for a bit, and then switch to yellow and then red, like a signal light. Now, okay, so where it's green right now, it would go to yellow, red, whereas on the other traffic direction, it would be now while it's red, showing green, and then it'll turn yellow, and then red. When it turns red, this one goes green. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So let's see what other outputs there are on the 3 output one. Let's just kind of cycle through them. Street light, traffic signal light, I should say. This shows, I don't know if you can tell on the video, but they're slowly pulsating. They're always on, but they're kind of alternating. They're kind of cycling. Now this one's sequenced. alternating cycling. A lot of potential on that one. Nice gentle effect. Here's where all of them are in simultaneous. Kind of cycles bright and dim. Sequential gyro light is what they call it. Kind of a neat one there. Sort of very subtle changes. Here they're all in sequence. Again, I think that's the gyro light one. Now this is kind of neat. This is a step lighting, dim, medium, bright lighting cycle, but sequential. You got to think about what you could do with that one, but I could see some applications for it. Whether it's traffic signals or just sort of advertising signs. Could even be, you know, where you could use this is like a harbor scene where you have different buoys out on the water and they show different flash sequences. Could make it interesting. Here they are, the same thing with the bright, medium, dim sequence on all three simultaneously. Single strobe sequence. Let me speed that one up and just show what we could do with that. If I speed that guy up, you could do arrow signs. I could see that working out really well on some highway scene. Simultaneous, single strobe, double strobe sequenced. Double strobe simultaneous. Rotating beacon sequenced. Again, fun. Could have fun with that on a marquee or some sort of a traffic sign. Almost with the bright dim, it suggests a little bit more of an incandescent bulb. Simultaneous rotating beacon. Flicker pattern. Now, this would be three outputs utilizing the same flicker pattern. That's the first one, and there's a second flicker pattern. So you could actually have one set of outputs going with flicker pattern 1, one set of outputs with flicker pattern 2, and if you really wanted to make a forest fire look realistic, there you go. And then the arc welding effect for 3 bulbs. On off, basic stuff. I'll just get it back here over to the traffic signal mode. That's sequenced. There we go, and here we're on the traffic signal. So there you have it. Kind of neat. Got one in traffic signal mode, you got one doing alternating, and the other one double strobe back and forth. And realize I've only used 3 out of the 5 output groups. So a pretty good product here. Lets you do all kinds of things that you only used to be able to do with decoders. Got some ideas for my layout, but I thought I'd share it. I think it's a pretty cool product, and enjoy it.